Okay, item 3A, this neighborhood park signage resolution.
Hold on one second.
I forget it and then I take it with me when I leave.
Okay.
All right,
I don't
sorry.
think-
Old business, item 3A, neighborhood park signage, city initiated resolution to award the contract. Got some information in here on actually why the second low bidder would be awarded this contract. And it's actually a company that's based here in Iowa that has some experiences here. So Dick wrote us a legal opinion on how that works. And so what we need is a motion to award the contract for the neighborhood park signage to Nagel Signs from Waterloo. They also have an office in Marshalltown and Grimes.
I will move that.
Okay, you may want a second?
Second.
All right, questions?
The question, sorry, go ahead.
Why don't you explain it real quick?
I'd like a little bit more about the reason being that
Right,
this
that's
is
my-
why we're in this situation.
Well, there were 8 bids received, and 2 of the bids, the low bidder was Hilton Displays from South Carolina. South Carolina has a bidder preference statute, and Iowa's also has a bidder's preference statute. The Iowa statute says if you have a bid that's competing with an Iowa bid, and that bidder, the low bidder or one of the other bidders is from out of state, and they have this preferential statute, you have to apply the preferences that are given to the out-of-state bidder. In other words, whatever the South Carolina preferences are, you apply that to the
Iowa bidder.
Iowa bidders, because if the Iowa bidder was bidding in South Carolina, or the South Carolina was having a bid that was received in South Carolina, the fact that they are from South Carolina, they would get certain preferences. So you apply those preferences that are applied in South Carolina.
So it levels
to
the playing, it
Iowa.
levels the playing
It
field.
levels the playing field, and when you apply those preferences to the Iowa bid, the second lowest bidder, Nagel, it is actually the lowest bidder for award purposes.
So Nagel doesn't have to reduce their bid, it just assumes that was what their price was and therefore they're awarded it.
Right.
Okay.
They get to
Makes
apply the
sense to
same.
me.
Yeah.
That's good. All right.
Because if they were in South Carolina, the South Carolina bids would receive preference. So because you're bidding against somebody from that state, you apply
Yeah.
those preferences
So
here.
if this was in
Preferences are preferences in the way of points when they score this.
Where there are percentages that you reduce it. If they use labor, they'd reduce by a certain percentage. If they use the end products, they'd reduce it by a certain
I see.
percentage. So
Yeah.
I remember talks on this at the state years ago when we did this. I think Master Builders was one of the ones that were pushing this thing. And essentially what we have in Iowa is we hold up a mirror to other bidders from other states and say, whatever you have in your state, that's what we're going to use against you here, essentially. So you really got to watch those preferences, you know. Same thing is probably true city to city. That's why whenever we have preferences for West Des Moines companies, I'm always very careful on that.
Yeah. So this is obviously, to me, is the right result.
Yep, makes sense.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? All right, it passes. Item 4, receive and file the special notice of meeting. Anything else for the good of the order? Okay,
Nope.
adjourned.
All right.
thank you.
You.
Have fun.